Welcome back to another video, and right now we will be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S10, and we just got some factory images and also new leaks, and also we will be talking about the Google Pixel 3 Lite, and that smartphone is getting leaked as well. So it's another big time for smartphones. There seems to be never a time where smartphones are not relevant, because smartphones are everywhere and people are buying smartphones more than pretty much any other electronic out there. So right now let's talk about Samsung, and we all know that the Samsung Galaxy S10 will be having a beautiful open hole camera display. Now, if you didn't know, Samsung is actually one of the few companies out there that has a way to drill holes in OLED panels without actually damaging them, and they're still pretty nice to use. So pretty much Samsung has this technology. It will be using it at its latest A series smartphone, which will be launching in late December. Now, if you didn't know, the Galaxy S10, S10 Plus, and also the 5G S10 will be launching MWC or March 2019. So it's also very interesting. There's a lot of leakers out there. For example, Ben Geskin, Ice Universe, and other guys out there who are leaking these Galaxy S10 models on Twitter. It's really interesting. It looks really good. And the whole point of Samsung going for the open hole camera technology is to pretty much increase the screen spot ratio from the mid 80s to the mid 90s. Now, that means it's not going to be having a notch, and that also means it's not getting Face ID, because you can't really seem to be put under sensors in the display yet. You gotta wait until 2020 to get that type of technology. So 2019 is really the year of the open hole camera technology, the front-facing lens. Samsung also ordered a bunch of in-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanners from Qualcomm, which also indicates they're ditching Face ID and going for a new security measure, which is well welcomed. So right now, if you look at this image here, you can see this is the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and this is actually straight from the factory leak. Now, if you didn't know, Galaxy S10 launching MWC February 2018, right now should be the time where the smartphone is getting manufactured in the factories. It usually takes about a month or two to get everything all sorted out. You don't want to be launching your smartphone and have no smartphones ready to sell. That's actually a really bad business model. So right now, Samsung is manufacturing these smartphones, and if you take a good look at this image, you can see in the top left hand corner there is like this beautiful curved bezel, and it seems to go all around the smartphone until you hit the top right hand corner, which is hosting the dual lens front facing camera. Now, if you didn't know, the Galaxy S10 Plus is the smartphone having a dual lens setup in the very front and the triple lens setup on the very back. And overall, you can see the overall smartphone has a very high screen to body ratio and pretty much looks very similar to the previous leaks that I've been showing you guys. And if you look at this Twitter post by /leaks, which is also one of the biggest smartphone leakers out there, you can see this is the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus Beyond 2. It has the anti-leak film is being tested at the Samsung factory, and pretty much it looks really nice, and the open hole camera technology is really at works here. So it's posted by /leaks, and there is a film that is over the smartphone, so it prevents the smartphone from getting leaked too much. It's kind of similar to when Samsung actually debuted the Galaxy F, the foldable smartphone. They put a really big and thick case over the smartphone to prevent people from actually getting the overall design. But in reality, under that thick case, there's this really nice, sleek smartphone, and that is debuting in MWC 2019 as well. So if you look at this image here, this is actually the render for the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. You get this beautiful pill-shaped bezel with two cameras. On the very back, you get this horizontal triple lens camera setup, and it's very compact. Now, we just got even more specs about the overall smartphone. Now, let's talk about the chips. So if you're outside the US, you're most likely getting the Exynos 9820. It's pretty good. It has a dedicated NPU, but if you live in the United States, you're getting the Snapdragon 855 processor. Now, the performance is the octa-core dual core plus dual core plus octa-core, and you also get 6 gigs of RAM or 8 gigs of RAM, and you get various amounts of storage, with people saying the Galaxy S10 Plus 5G model will be sporting a 1 terabyte storage and a 12 gigabyte RAM inside the smartphone, and that's really nice. And last but not least, you get really good cameras. It depends on which variant you get. You get a really nice AMOLED or OLED display. It's going to be having a 1440 x 2960 pixel resolution with a 511 pixel density, and the screen sizes really range from 5.8 to 6.7 inch. It's getting a really good battery, 3700 milliamps to maybe even 4000. You're getting fast charging, USB Type-C ports, and right now 3.5mm headphone jack is endangered from getting removed. But I've been looking at recent leaks from the past few days, and it seems that Samsung may be retaining the headphone jack for next year's Galaxy S10, which is a big reliever to a lot of Android fans. And Samsung is actually one of those companies who still hasn't actually took away the headphone jack. Next is this image by Ghost Tech. So if you didn't know, Ghost Tech is actually one of the biggest smartphone case makers out there, and they seem to be nailing every single design of concept smartphones. If you didn't know, companies, especially like big companies like Apple, Samsung, Huawei, they usually send their schematics and their overall dimensions and designs of their upcoming smartphones to these big case making companies. So these big case making companies can start making these cases before the actual launch date of the official smartphone. So when the smartphone is finally debuted in 2019 at MWC, you can also go to Ghost Tech's website or other major case makers out there and order the case. Now that is really nice, and the case will arrive to your house extremely fast because they've already know the dimensions and they already started production of the case. So technically, this gives you a very big confirmation of what's going on with the overall design, and this is kind of confirmed with quotation marks. So let's talk about the Google Pixel 3, and this is also really interesting since Google is pulling a strategy in which Samsung and Apple has been doing, which is launching really expensive smartphones, but also launching cheaper versions of it with less specs, but also a lower price, and people could definitely buy it because the brand is really good. So if you look at these images here, they look absolutely fantastic. They're from OnLeaks and 91 Mobiles, and these are amazing renders of the Google Pixel 3 Lite and also Google Pixel 3 XL. So simply going through the smartphone, you can see it pretty much resembles the current Google Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL. Of course, the overall structure of the smartphone seems to be slightly bulkier. It will be a little bit thicker, and going through the images, you don't see a notch at all. Instead, you get thicker top and bottom pieces of bezel. On the bare back, it looks identical to the Google Pixel 3 with the 2 shades of the same color. The fingerprint scanner, you get the single lens camera on the very back. In the very front, you get the speakers. You only get one of them, not 2. And you also get a front-facing camera. Of course, the Lite version smartphone will be costing around $500 to $700, which isn't that bad since the Google Pixel 3 XL starts prices at $900. So it's a very nice, decently affordable smartphone. We definitely might be seeing a older Snapdragon chip, or it might be having a Snapdragon 845, but that's only if we're lucky. So looking at it, it's really nice. It's very refreshing. It looks pretty much identical to the current Pixel 3. There's a few changes, like the fingerprint scan on the very back has a different color. The side button has a slightly different color as well. You do not get the headphone jack. It's a little bit glossier, and also the front panel does not have a notch. So looking through the Google Pixel 3 XL Lite renders, it has a really nice 6-inch display. Smartphone is pretty sleek. We're probably not going to be seeing wireless charging on the smartphone. It's probably going to be having some sort of like an aluminum or like a plastic back. It's probably not going to get wireless charging. I've actually looked through the smartphone, and actually it's going to be missing out a lot of features, but still going to be having the great software, great cameras. So pretty much you're going to be sacrificing some battery life, speed, some features like the dual lens front facing camera, and also the 2-speaker feature. and you're pretty much going for a really good camera, decent speed, and also a fantastic display, and also you still get a really good camera because the Google software is still at works. So looking back at the Samsung Galaxy S10, this is really interesting, especially how the factory leak is actually coming in. This is actually the first factory leak we have for the Galaxy S10, and smartphone productions usually start around 2 to 3 months before the actual debut date on stage, because they want to be selling a smartphone like a week after the debut, and pre-orders usually start at the day of the debut or a few days after. They want to pretty much maximize sales, get everyone hyped up, and this factory leak seems extremely convincing since it looks very similar to previous leaks. It's out obviously in a factory, and also it does have the anti-leak protector screen over the smartphone, which also convinces me that this is also real. So hey, thanks for watching. Comments below. How do you feel about these smartphones? Would you get it? How do you feel about the Samsung Galaxy S10 leak? Do you think this factory leak is real? Do you like the overall design of the renders of the Samsung Galaxy S10? Which variant would you get? For the Google Pixel 3, are you excited for the new light version, which is about $300 to $400 cheaper than the standard Google Pixel 3? So it's a big year for smartphones. 2019 is going to be absolutely nuts with the open hole camera technology. So hey, thanks for watching. Comments below, and pretty much subscribe. Thanks.